around us every day. Tragic and stark reminders about how important it is for us to protect our children, the most vulnerable members of our communities. And I think on days like today, it's easy for us to look at that as an insurmountable task. But the truth is that we should redouble our efforts to do everything in our power to protect these innocent and very vulnerable members of our community and our children. When we think about this case today, United States versus Josh Duggar, this case is noteworthy because of who the defendant is. But this case is important for a lot of other reasons also. This case is important because it demonstrates the hard work that our office puts in to prosecuting and investigating these cases that involve the most vulnerable members of our community, our children. I mentioned to you a few months ago that in 2020, about 7% of our cases here in Western Arkansas involved either child abuse or child pornography. And that demonstrates our commitment to investigating and prosecuting these cases. And this case shows that we are going to redouble our efforts and our commitment to investigate these cases and to ensure that justice is served in each and every one of them. The second reason why this case is important is because it demonstrates that no one person is above the law. No matter their wealth, their social status, or anything else, no one is above the law, and that's what this case demonstrates. We will continue to investigate these cases no matter who the defendant turns out to be, and we will continue to use every tool available to us to make sure that justice is served in these cases. Now, the third and most important reason why these cases are important and why this case is important is because this case, this trial, this sentence is for the victims of child abuse. Not just the victims of child abuse here in the Western District of Arkansas, but the victims of child abuse everywhere. This case shows that these children are subject to some of the worst kinds of abuses imaginable. The children depicted in the photos and videos that were introduced in this case were subjected to that horrible treatment, the horrible criminal conduct. And this case shows that those children's pain is real, that their suffering is real. And we know that this sentence isn't going to take away the suffering and the pain that they've already felt from this abuse. But it is our hope that this sentence sheds light on this very dark criminal conduct, because every single time these files are traded, shared, and downloaded online, those same children are victimized all over again. And it is our sincere hope that this case, that this sentence sends a message to those children, that they are real, that their pain is real, and that we will do everything in our power to make sure that justice is served as a result of that criminal conduct. Now, we also hope that this case sends a message to any defendant in the Western District of Arkansas or elsewhere who would seek to abuse children in this way. This is the message that this case should send to those defendants. We will find you, we will investigate you, we will prosecute you, and we will use every single tool available to us to ensure that justice is served and the children of Western Arkansas are protected. So with that, I'll turn it over to, I'd be remiss if I didn't do one more thing, and that is to thank the tremendous trial team and the efforts of the trial team in this case. I'd like to start with Carly Marshall and Dustin Roberts, two of our very talented AUSAs in our office. They did a great job and worked tirelessly to present this case to the jury. We received a tremendous amount of support from our partners at the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., one of whom was trial attorney William Clayman, who came and tried this case alongside Dustin and Carly. We also received a tremendous amount of support from a lot of other folks at the Department of Justice, including William Futrell, who in this case really helped us. James Futrell, sorry, got his name wrong. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, but I still got it wrong. But James is an expert in computer analysis and investigation, and he did a great job testifying in this case. And then finally, I'd like to thank our law enforcement partners at the Department of Homeland Security. Special Agent Jerry Faulkner and Special Agent Acock did a tremendous job and worked tirelessly to make sure that the evidence was preserved in this case and that our office had everything that we need to be able to successfully prosecute this case. And finally, we're really blessed at the U.S. Attorney's Office to have a tremendous, hard-working staff, and we saw the results of that with this trial as well. Laura Johnson, our victim witness coordinator, worked very hard to make sure that our witnesses were here on time. We had everything we needed to be able to successfully present the case. Nicole Times and Charles McBride, two of our great paralegals, worked tirelessly to support the trial team in this case. And frankly, there's a lot of other people that I'm probably forgetting, but I'd just like to thank everyone whose efforts resulted in this successful sentence here today. And with that, I'll turn it over to my partners at Homeland Security.
Good afternoon. I'm Assistant Special Agent in Charge Shane with Homeland Security Investigations. Homeland Security Investigations is a recognized leader in child exploitation investigations. Every time child exploitation imagery is shared, it perpetuates the life-altering trauma experienced by its many innocent victims. Our special agents are committed to rescuing child victims, investigating and apprehending offenders, preventing child sexual abuse, and helping make the internet and our communities a safer place for our children. Because of the exceptional efforts by HSI special agents, computer forensics personnel, and our law enforcement partners, the child predator has been brought to justice today. This sentencing sends a clear message that regardless of the circumstances, if you prey on our nation's most vulnerable, we will come after you. You are not above the law. To report suspicious activity or instances of child sexual exploitation, please call us at 1-866-DHS 2423. You can choose to remain anonymous. Reporting suspected child sexual exploitation could help minimize or stop further victimization, as well as lead to the identification and the rescue of additional victims. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. If anyone has any questions, the U.S. Attorney will take a couple questions at this time.
Obviously, we didn't get the full 20-year maximum sentence. What are the judge's thoughts on this?
We're very, very pleased with the sentence here today, and we want to thank the jurors for their time a few months ago when they examined all the evidence in this case, and we especially want to thank Judge Brooks for his careful consideration of all the sentencing factors in this case. And this is a lengthy sentence. While it's not the sentence that we asked for, it's a sentence that we're proud of, and it represents the hard work that was put into this and the importance of this case. Yes, sir.
How much did prior ban
You know, from listening to the judge's comments today, I think it had a significant impact on the sentence. It was one of the aggravating factors that the judge noted on the record, and so I do think it was an important part of the sentence today. Yes, ma'am. I did not write that down, so I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Okay. That decision will be made by the probation officer who's designated to supervise him. So I don't think that decision was made today. Usually not. Yeah, it's usually up to the probation officer in consultation with the judge on an appropriate supervisor for the person who's on supervised release.
Okay,
So,
any last questions?
anything else?
Great, thank you so much for being out here.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I have given my business card out.
Yes, thank
so
you
if
so
you all
much.
have any additional questions later on, we're also going to be sending out a full press release, so that should be going out momentarily.
Great. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Appreciate it.